Hey everybody, I'm back again with another video. This time I'm doing the Amazon Echo Buds. Now I really wasn't in the market to get some new earbuds. In fact, I've never had earbuds before. These are my first ones. But I saw the ad on the Amazon page and saw that they were for pre-order and was intrigued by the fact that you can do Amazon integration with them. So basically having a set of Echo devices in your ears. So anyway, let's get started with the video. Let's go. Okay, so let's start off with the looks of the device. So the case itself is pretty generic, other than the Amazon smile on there. It looks like most other earbud cases. It's a clamshell design. It's got a micro USB, which is not a deal breaker for me because I have tons of the cables left over from other devices, and carrying one extra cable is not a deal breaker for me, but it might be for you. Now there's a button on the bottom. If you hit that, it will give you a status of the battery level that's in your earbuds. If you pop it open, you can see that you have your left and your right earbud, and they have a touch sense space or area on each bud, and you can define what each touch can do for each bud, which I find is a cool feature. Now you have your little charging pins within the case, and you have the coinciding pin placements on the earbuds themselves, and you have a marking on each earbud and also in each spot of the case. So it's kind of hard to get them wrong. One of the things I do like about the case is that you can incorporate the wings and leave them on, and they will still fit within the case area. Now this bulge right here, I'm assuming, is for extra battery space so that they can put a bigger battery in. And the battery itself works pretty well. I mean, you get about 4 extra charges, including in addition to the one charge that is already on the buds themselves. So 5 total charges. I would say they probably last about 2 hours a piece. So you're going to get, to me, 10 hours of real world use with the buds if you use them a lot. If you don't use them that much, they might last longer. Who knows? I know that they have a number on there, 20 hours or something like that. I didn't really find that to be the case. But it could also be that their new device, maybe firmware updates, will help that at a later time. As far as the buds looks, they're a little bit chunky, a little bit thick, but I'll show you later in the video that they don't protrude too much outside of your head, and if you place your hand over your ears, you'll barely feel them. So they're not too obnoxious looking, although they are pretty big. And I did find that after wearing them about 2 to 3 hours, they did start to feel a little bit heavy, a little bit weighted, and not as comfortable. But initially they feel pretty comfortable in your ear, especially with these wings for me, because they kind of grip the ear and allow it to hold on really well and feel really secure. So really good for like working out. The earbuds have 3 microphones and also a sensor. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's this little round spot here. That is a sensor to tell whether it's in your ear or not in your ear. That is important for the fact that it will pause the music and or videos when you take them from your ear, and then when you put it back in, it will restart them automatically, which is a nice feature. They fit nicely and they're magnetically secure within the case. Although the cap of the case is spring loaded, it is not magnetically held, and I do feel like if it fell to the ground, it probably would pop open. The case itself's texture is a matte finish, but I really don't like this finish very much. It shows scratches pretty easily. I've had these for a couple of weeks, and also it's kind of slippery, and you would think matte would have more grip, but I would have preferred a rubberized finish on this just to make it a little bit more secure in hand. I feel like it would be really easy to drop these. And And you see that once I shut the lid, the app no longer senses the earbuds. So as soon as you open the lid, kind of like the Apple products, it will recognize that the earbuds have been taken out and give you a immediate status and connection to them. So you don't have to do anything in order to reconnect them once you've connected them the first time. Now, this is through the app. Now you can also connect it the old-fashioned way, go into your Bluetooth and actually accept and connect that way. But when you have the app and you have the new device, it will recognize the device and say you have a new Amazon device. Would you like to join this Amazon device to your app? And it works pretty well. Let's go over sound. That's probably one of the more important things that people are getting these earbuds for, because most earbuds don't sound that great. These ones are pretty good. I've, like when you put the Apple standard earbuds, the wired ones in, these are better than those. These ones have a little bit more bass. The treble is okay and the mids are okay. I would say that once you get a proper seal with these, which is very important, and I cannot stress that enough, that don't judge the sound of these until you get a proper seal. And I'll show you how to do that later in the video. But a couple of cool things about the sound is that you have what's called Bose A&R. That's active noise reduction. And that limits the background noise, and it almost acts like white noise. So it gives you this whooshing effect, which drowns out anything other than the, I guess, the music playing or the video playing or whatever, your phone call. And it does work pretty well. Now, it's not active noise canceling by Bose, but it's a step below that. And I would say that it works well. There's also a feature called pass-through. And I like this feature a lot. The pass-through feature allows you to amplify the ambient sounds so that you can hear a little bit better, almost like a hearing aid. So like if you're speaking with someone and there may be a lot of background noise, it kind of like amplifies the things that are closest to you, that it catches with its microphone, and kind of gives you a little bit more clarity. And then of course within the app you can turn both those features off if you don't want to have either. I do appreciate the fact that it has an equalizer built in to let you customize the sound to your liking. A lot of people were saying on some of the reviews that these were bass heavy. I disagree. I think that the bass, I had to turn it all the way up, and then it was an acceptable level of bass. It was good bass. The mids and the treble, to me, sounded slightly tinny. I turned them about halfway up, but it's all personal opinion. To me, this setup here sounded the best. Now, speaking of sound, the ear tip sizing test. This is very important and something that I recommend if you're going to get a pair of these, is the first thing you do. They have 3 different sizes of ear tips and 3 different sizes of wings. Once I got the combination of wings and ear tips that were the right size and properly set them in my ear, the ear test passed and worked well. You can hit play and then... So right now they're going to say failed because they're not in my ears. But if they were in my ears, then they'd give you 3 different levels that give you like a good, a excellent, or you can get a failed like this one. So they have different levels, and each ear is actually tested individually, which is kind of a cool feature. I like that. And it worked well for me once I got the proper seal. They also, because this is TouchSense, allow you touch gestures. Now there's only tapping, so you could have done it with a button. It's not like earth shaking or anything. Like you can slide it up and down for volume and slide it left and right for next song. Nope, that's not here. Maybe on the next revision, but not on this one. So you got double taps. So you can do a double tap to play pause on the left ear. That's what I put. You can put a myriad of different things. If you click on it, you can select through here, previous track, next track, mute the microphones, Alexa, Siri, whatever you want. So these are the ones I did, and you can also go to default, which basically, if you look at this, that was the default for both ears. Once you're done with that, you can go to side tone, and by default it's turned off, but I actually like it. What side tone is it allows you to hear your voice within the phone call. So I guess it picks up your voice and injects it into the phone call, so it sounds more natural, as opposed to when you have it turned off, then it almost sounds like you're in a closet, like you can hear your own voice but it's muffled. So I do like the side tone. And then of course you can also turn on and off the A word hands-free. You can have it listen for the A word and then do the action, or not. And you can also mute the microphones, which that could be helpful if there's a sensitive conversation or a reason why you wouldn't want the microphones on, or you don't want the A word to interject itself and start doing a command. Those are all good things. So it gives you a little bit of control within the app. So I do like the app. It is a integral part of why you would want these, because if you're really into the Amazon ecosystem, then you're going to want the app. You're going to have the app already configured with a lot of other stuff, and you're going to be able to control those devices with this. It truly is like having like an Echo Dot or something sewn into your ears. So that's pretty cool. That's one of the reasons that drew me towards these and not towards the Apple products, because I really don't use a lot of Apple products other than the phone. So speaking of the Amazon integration, it works well. I did find that sometimes when I tapped or said the wake word, it didn't work. I believe that that's probably due to firmware, and when the firmware probably is going to go through a couple of updates to make it rock solid. So anyway, let's go over the good and the bad of this product, and if this product will work for you or whether you want to look elsewhere. As far as the sound quality, it's good. It's not earth-shattering. There are better buds out there. I believe the Sony earbuds are one of the best for audiophiles. If you can think that audiophiles would wear earbuds, hey, the Sonys probably would be the way to go, but these are solid for music, for video playback, and for telephone calls. Great for when you're working or driving or traveling. And you also get the added features that the Amazon ecosystem gives you with the A word and all of the automation and controlling and questions, and the assistant, the built-in assistant comes with it, and it does work well. The bad, I would say, is they're a little bit large and a little bit heavy after a couple hours of wearing them. The case is a little bit slick and seems like it would be easy to drop, and I believe that the sound on the earbuds could be a little bit louder. I would say a couple of notches up and they would be perfect. So smaller form factor, a little bit more volume, a little bit better case. Those would be the things that I would point out. The micro USB, that's a take it or leave it for me. It's not a deal breaker for me because I have plenty of cables, and it's not a big deal to take an extra cable, but for some people that might be. So would I suggest these? If you want Amazon integration in an earbud set, then yes, I would suggest them, even though they are kind of a brand new product, the first phase. If you're not an early adopter, no, probably not. If you're really deep into the Apple ecosystem, you probably want to go with the Apple earbuds. They would probably serve you better. They're very close and comparable to one another, except for I believe that the Pros are a lot more money. Add an extra $100. And if you really want the best sound out of earbuds, I would go with the Sonys. So anyway, that's my video. Hope you found it informational. If you did, please click like And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Talk to you later.